Glad to be back with you here in our Slow Burn Dynasty. We're in week 9. It's our bye week, so we've got our bye week recruiting this week. Simulate into week 10, we'll do our recruiting then, and then we take on UTEP. Today is also a big day. It was the drop of the Dynasty Deep Dive for College Football 25. So I watched that, read through the whole blog. Really jacked up about the new game. But again, I'm not sure I'm willing to stop making this one. I think I might bounce back and forth, doing a full season of this one, then doing a full season of the next one, just so I have consistent content coming out. But maybe giving each dynasty its off season and things like that. So we'll keep this dynasty going, and then pick up the College Football 25 whenever that happens. And College Football 25 is going to present its own challenges. I haven't played a new generation football game for the past 11 years. I've just been, sticking to NCAA football here. So it'll be quite a learning curve, which I'm really excited about to learn a new game, a new system, passing mechanics, and also just the new features they have in the game, the new recruiting, the new coaching system and things like that. So really excited about that. But that's enough about College Football 25. We are in this dynasty on the Xbox 360. Let's check out the college football landscape. Top 25 is going to stay pretty consistent, although number 2 fell out. I can't remember who that was, but we got Oregon, Oklahoma, Bama, Texas, USC, Pitt, Clemson, all kind of staying pretty solid up here in the top 10. Ohio State and Clemson jump in. FIU gets up there. They get one first place vote. Let's check out their schedule. So they beat Clemson by 12, but other than that, I guess Virginia might be a solid win. Other than that, no solid wins, and they don't really face anybody. So it'll be interesting to see if they make it, if they go undefeated, if they make it into the national championship. And then Michigan State's at 10. Tennessee was at 2. They lost to South Carolina by 8. So Justin Bryant feels his first loss in the SEC. He's been doing really well over at Tennessee. So they're at 11. And they got Bama this week. Virginia Tech jumps up after beating FSU. There's Penn State. They lost to Michigan, so they dropped down. Iowa had a bye, but they jump up to 14. Miami lost to Georgia Tech. Notre Dame lost to Stanford. There's FSU. We saw lost to Virginia Tech. Washington jumps up. Michigan, then Georgia Tech goes from 25 to 20. We jump up to 22 after beating Missouri. Nebraska drops after losing to Ohio State. Ole Miss goes down 1 after beating Ball State. And then Oregon State jumps in to 25. Heisman watch, Bryant stays put. Carter's moving up. Tidwell goes down 1. There's Trey Zitch. We faced him last year. And then Richardson goes down to number 5. And that's your Heisman watch. Championship contenders, I don't know if we have to look at this every week, but it is kind of interesting that 2023 grade, now we're at 60. I think, was it last? I go so long between recordings here. I think last week we were at 70 something. So we're going in the right direction. Here's a first look at the BCS rankings. Oregon, Oklahoma look like they'll be in the national championship if everything stays put. Bama, I'm sure will have a lot to say about that, as well as these other one-loss teams, and maybe even FIU. Toughest places to play. Again, I don't know if I have to look at this every week, but it is interesting to see. Bama's on a good win streak. Neyland Stadium, we're going to. They jump up to 3. I think they were down. They might have been around 10. To begin the season. Here you can kind of see the normal people. Penn State we went to. They beat us. Let's just scroll down a little bit faster here, see if we can't find ours. I think we're 38 for you. There we are, 38. So B, we've won 2 in a row. So we're staying solid at that B ranking. Quick stat check. Theo Cruz, 1,900 passing yards, good for 6th. Rushing, we got Kroll. He's now going to take over for the next, I think it's 5 weeks now. He's at 648, so he'll get to 1,000. Kroll and Lewis will not both get to 1,000, so we'll just kind of ride Kroll here and see how many yards we can get him. And then Vincent will kind of spell him when needed. Blount continues to lead our team in receiving. He's at 414. Here, tackle-wise, no shocker that we have 3 guys up there. User teams always kind of dominate this. Craig Swang's got 5 sacks. He's moving up. Continues to have solid games. Not always producing sacks, but I think he really is just kind of that linchpin in our defense. Interceptions, we got Lemon with 2, and there's Darryl Brown with a long of 43, which again, I think is probably his limit. He doesn't get very many opportunities to kick from long distance, because we're well aware that I think his kick power is 80, so not willing to kick any super long field goals with him. All right, next, let's check out our team news, our recruiting news. Here you can see we had a big week of recruiting. Thad McCullough comes in, Justin Wright comes in. We had 2 running backs in Morrow and Foster. Foster's that speedy guy. I'm hoping he jumps up to mid 60s, 64, 65-ish. And then we signed Gerald Johnson. And I'm kind of questioning whether I want 2 QBs this class or if I want to get 1 this class and then 1 next class. So I have to make that decision as we go through recruiting. But really good week recruiting-wise. You can see Mark Smith came in, as did Adam Carpenter. They didn't sign, but I think they're both well on their way to signing. Then Mike Woods did lock us out, which I expected. We'll kind of jump into that more as recruiting goes. All right, let's get into recruiting. All right, so we got 2,950 points to spend. Here you can see Mike Woods locked us out. This actually plays really well for us because we're going to unlock to get back in this week, and then that's going to carry over into next week. So we're going to jump to like 2nd place here. And then next week we're going to have a visit, so we're going to be much closer to taking over Stanford after our visit. And I always thought we had 3 unlocks, and we have 5, so I kind of mismanaged that. But we'll use 1 here on Mike Woods. There we go. Now we're only down 190. After this week, I think it stays the same going into next week. I don't even know if I have to put points on him. I feel like I don't, but I also haven't paid enough attention to see if I don't, so I always do. So we'll maybe have to pay attention to that here as we go into next week. But he's got 500. We're in a good position here. Adam Carpenter came in, you can see. So we jumped up by 2,700. Auburn is going to have a visit. They got a scholarship, so we're going to keep 500 on him. And we're willing, again, to go into the offseason and battle for him and make him a priority. Okay, so here, yeah. This, I'm not sure why or how this happens. And again, it's been a while since I recorded last week's, but I'm pretty sure we were down. We were in 3rd place. Maybe I have to go back and look. But we were not in 1st, and we definitely were not in 1st by 6,000 points. So you can see Northwestern at the bottom there dropped by 6,545, which I don't know if that pulls everybody else down from them or if Northwestern pulled off. I really don't know what it was, and I'm actually going to take a moment here and watch that video from last week so I know exactly what happened. Or I guess I don't have access to last week's, but the Penn State game, we'll kind of see where we stood with Reggie Johnson. I'm pretty sure it was similar when we played Missouri. I just don't have Missouri edited yet, so I don't have the information available right now, but I'll look at the Penn State one. All right, so again, I'm looking at that Penn State prep video. Northwestern is ahead by 335. We're dropping 40. Northwestern had a visit scheduled in week 13. West Virginia was down by 4,900 and dropping 805. So nobody else had this guy on their board except us and Northwestern. And then Northwestern must have taken him off their board. He dropped. And we are the beneficiary of that. So he's coming in this week to visit, or next week to visit, which is huge. I'm pretty sure we're going to lock this guy up. So that worked out really well for us. Again, I'm not sure why this happens. Northwestern maybe signed somebody already and took him off their board. I don't know, but we'll take it. Frank Kendrick, we're looking really good at 97% locked. Nobody else is even close. He's coming to visit. He should sign this week. Tom Stevens, again, this is a quarterback. I'm not sure if I want to sign him. I don't know that I need to sign 2, and I'm not even sure, his scouting is good. I don't know that I need to sign 2 quarterbacks this recruiting class. I'm not sold that these guys are so good that we have to bring them both in. So Tom Stevens, I just decided as I talked that through, we are not going to bring him in. We're going to remove him from our board, and we're just going to bring in 1 quarterback this recruiting class. And hopefully Sean Maxwell does not transfer out, and we can carry 3 quarterbacks next year. If Maxwell does transfer out, we'll ride with 2, and we'll take maybe a redshirt guy, and then bring in a new guy next year. But that gives us a little bit more leeway to bring in somebody or go after somebody a little bit better next recruiting class. Okay, so that puts us at Corey Stevens here. Again, coming in week 10, we're in a really good spot. He's 96% locked. We got 275 on him. I think I can leave that as is. That'll be enough to bump him to 100% and have him sign. Bruce Hodges, I decided I'm going after him. We are a 4-2-5 defense. You know, the better our strong safeties can be, the better our defense is going to be. So we're going to go all in on him. He's 83% locked. Comes in next week in week 10. And so hopefully we can get him signed. Mark Smith came in last week, 82% locked. Stanford, Colorado still have visits left. We'll keep 500 on him. I may look to see if I can find another kicker now that we can search nationally. But he'll get 500 for now. Alex Webb looking good. He may get more points later on. Let me jot that down. Zach Harris, probably the best middle linebacker we have on our board. Again, I don't think I need to bring in a lot of linebackers, but Zach Harris, again, offers that speed, the acceleration that we're looking for. Tim Evans, I believe is a JUCO sophomore cornerback. I'm not sold on him. I'm going to scout him again. I'd love to get my scouting up to 25%. It's just not a priority over, trying to get more points into guys that are getting more points on their visits. So we'll have to really make a decision about that the next recruiting point we get. But we'll scout him 10% right now. We get his agility, so nothing that really helps. Tyler Gillett going down 215. Again, free safety. We've got Adam Carpenter. We're going down, 335, 340. Not sure I want to commit 100 points to him. So although we do have 2,500 open now, so he may be somebody that we come back to and get points on after taking him off. Josh Grant has a scholarship. Looks like good enough acceleration. Speed is a B, which is good. Just a top wideout on our board. 49% locked. We'll bump him to 200. Let's keep moving him along. Tommy Gandy, I'm going to scout. He goes down. Pursuit, stamina. We'll keep him at 100. See if we can't find anybody better out there. Harvey Allen's coming in week 12, so I still have time to decide on him. We'll give him a scout. He's gone up 4 already. 86 acceleration. That's pretty good, but doesn't help a whole lot. So keep him as is. Alan Barber, teams are starting to make progress on him. I think we're going to take him off the board. And strong safety is just not a high need of ours. Christian Van taken off the board. I just want to bring in one. We'll bring in maybe a better quarterback next recruiting class. Martin Johnson, I think he's off the board. I got 2 running backs that I'm happy with. I just don't want to mess with these guys and just overload my roster here. Linebacker, I'm going to scout these guys, see if I can get anything. Zone coverage goes up. It doesn't go up, it's just displayed at 68. Kevin Weiss, acceleration and pursuit. He's up to 67. Another running back off. Another running back off. Brian Henderson is coming off the board. Again, I think Frank Kendrick is going to sign. Quentin Payne, again, he looks like a solid running back, but we've got 2 signed. So just not going to mess around with running backs right now. Cedric Harmon will scout. We'll see what we get. He's going to be a quarterback type. I'm not sure, but he could be receiver or running back. We'll maybe keep on board just for options. And if we bring in somebody like him, I think he's a JUCO guy. Yeah, so he could help us, fill that gap between Cruz and Maxwell. We'll see. Jeremy Hutchinson, again, another JUCO athlete. Looks like, again, a quarterback. Could catch as a receiver. Could be a running back or a quarterback. And then Mike Morris is a JUCO wideout. Again, wideout's not a big need, so I don't know if I'm going to go after him. He's just enticing as a really good JUCO guy. All right, so we still got about 2,000 points to distribute. I'm going to go by overall. Mike Morris, we've brought in a lot of JUCO wide receivers. I don't know if he's going to be the main guy here. Jeremy Hutchinson, again, could be a quarterback, could be a running back, could be a receiver. I think we'll put 500 on him. Again, if he makes, Maxwell transfer out, I think that's fine. We'll have him, and then we'll have the freshman we signed. So we'll go after Jeremy Hutchinson hard, and we'll go after Cedric Harmon hard. Now we got about 1,000. Gillett, I'm not sold on it. Let's check out free safety wise. Again, Adam Carpenter looks like he might sign with us, or we might battle with him. He could end up signing with Auburn. I think for now, but do I want to fall behind on Gillett? I think I can still go 500 on Gillett, and then we're down to 26 guys only on our board. Alex Webb, we scout him. Ooh, run blocking to 65. Stamina goes up. was down 4 though. We'll keep him at 100. I think I'm gonna put 500 into Weiss here. Tim Evans, again, a JUCO guy, I'm not sold on. Grant, fine. Gerald Johnson has signed. I don't know what happened here with all these. Let me go back out and come back in. All right, so that's gonna do it for recruiting. Again, locked out of Mike Woods, got back in at perfect timing, just like I thought we would. I didn't even have to adjust his points, which was perfect because sometimes adjusting his points, you go down too much, and then they end up signing with a top school. So that worked out well for us. We're only 190 back. He'll be coming in next week. Adam Carpenter. Auburn could make this a battle. I'm not sure if 2,700 is enough for them to come back on. Reggie Johnson looks like we're going to sign. Kendrick, I mean, we're just going to sign a bunch of guys, I think, after this week. So that's looking promising. All right, quick review of the guys we signed. Justin Wright. Again, his measurables were kind of off the charts with his squat and bench. Really excited to get him as a JUCO guy. Gerald Johnson was just the first quarterback to sign. You know, if it was the other guy, Stevens, I think, or Van, they would have been the guy that we went with. But we're just going to bring in one, and I think that frees us up to go after a better quarterback next year, depending on how those athletes shake out as well. We'll see. But Gerald Johnson looks solid. You know, throw power C, throw accuracy D, if that can go up. But his speed acceleration is good enough. He's got some elusiveness, little spin, low juke. So he's looking solid. Thad McCullough is going to be a center. I'm hoping he jumps up. I don't know his bench press or squat, but I'm guessing they had to be pretty good for me to put him on our board. Jacob Morrow and Brian Foster, I think very different running backs. You know, Morrow's the balanced, Foster's the speed. Not really scouted any of these guys. So again, that's part of the challenge here and part of the fun. But Brian Foster looks like a great speed guy, could be a returner for us. And then Morrow could just kind of be the balanced guy that we have on our roster already. Clayton Kroll, offensive lineman, really excited to get him. Hopefully he stays at 69 or goes higher. Again, I'm guessing his measurables, his grades of bench and squat were high enough. It doesn't always pan out to a great blocker, but most of the time it does. And then Eric Lane had really high bench and really high squat. So I'm guessing he's going to go up to mid 70s, if not higher. But those are the guys we signed, looking solid, and we got more coming after week 10. All right, bye week recruiting is done. Let's move on to week 10. Maybe we get some guys that sign after week 9 before they need to come in for their visit. We'll see. All right, there you see it. Mike Woods, we're in a battle. Reggie Johnson, we get miraculously. Corey Stevens signs with us. That's a big sign. We needed a solid tight end. Hodges is coming in. Frank Kendrick we signed, so we've got all of our linemen that we needed, that we wanted to go after. So that's really good. Gillet's coming in for a visit this week. Grant is ready to visit, as is Zach Harris. So some big recruiting news here. This is exciting. Again, week 8 is kind of when things start to happen. You know, we see the effects. Week 9 is when you kind of see things really shift. After that week 8, teams kind of start solidifying their recruiting board and signing guys. You can see we had that big shakeup with Reggie Johnson after week 8. So week 8 is kind of a pivotal point, which is why I picked being able to go after, you know, national recruits after week 8, because everything's kind of solidified and you can really see who no team is going after, or maybe they dropped them. But really good recruiting news here. Excited to get all 3 of these guys. And one thing I forgot to do is add guys for recruiting from around the nation last week. So we'll get that this week. We missed out on an opportunity to gain more ground on them. So I'm kind of kicking myself. But I guess that's, you know, one more added level of difficulty for us this season. So hopefully it doesn't affect our recruiting too much, and we can still find guys that fit what we're doing here. But to start off week 10, let's see what's happening in college football. All right, Oregon maintains, Oklahoma maintains, Texas moves up. Looks like Alabama lost to Tennessee, so Tennessee got a big win after losing the week before. Michigan State goes up. They beat Ohio State. FIU jumps up to 5 after beating ECU. Wow, just because they're undefeated, I guess that propels them up. But it's exciting to see a non-Power 5 team up there. Virginia Tech jumps in the top 10 after beating UNC. Penn State goes to 11. Iowa goes to 12 after beating Northwestern. They got Minnesota this week. Florida State beats Clemson. Ohio State lost. We saw there's Clemson. Miami beat Duke. Notre Dame won. Michigan won. Georgia Tech and Stanford. They got Stanford, Oregon this week. That'll be a good game. We dropped from 21 to 22 just because we did not play. Nebraska's there. Ole Miss. Washington drops down after losing to USC. And then Florida jumps in after beating Georgia. Heisman watch, there's Bryant. He's staying up there solid. A solid game against Bama. 217. 3 total TDs. 89 rushing yards. Tidwell moves up. These guys are both redshirt sophomores. Zitch, he's moving up. Rogers jumps in. And then we get a fullback in here. Wow, take a picture. Tony Gatewood. 21 carries, 88 yards, 2 TDs. So their top running back must be injured, and this guy's getting a bulk of the carries. But that's exciting to see a fullback in there. Championship contenders, here we are. 2023 drops to 51. We were 60 last week, so that's exciting to see. And still an A- grade. All right, let's jump into recruiting. All right, so we got 1,725 points to use here. Mike Woods, we went down. So we were at 190 last week. See, I don't know why are we 425 when we went up 1,205 there? I'm not sure, but we're in a good spot to overtake Stanford, and that just makes it more of a battle going into the off season. I don't think we'll get locked out again, but you never know. We still have 4 weeks left after this one, so hopefully we can take it into the off season and dump a bunch of points into him. Adam Carpenter, I'm surprised didn't sign, but I guess with Auburn there with a week 11 visit, I guess he's holding out, although they're down 3,100 now. I don't know if they can make it back from that, but he's not 100% locked, so we'll see what happens next week with him. Bruce Hodges, there we go. We got to 97% locked. He's coming in this week. I'm curious. I just want to scout him a little bit more. So speed is 77. Zone 70. I'm a little weary that he's gonna drop down and be a bust, but we'll keep 500 on him for now. Mark Smith continued to make good ground. We'll keep 500 on him. I wanted to get a kicker on the board last week, completely forgot, so I'll have to get one on this week, but he'll stay put. Alex Webb, I think I'm going to scout him, get more points. Let's see, nothing really that makes me want to recruit him more. He's not that fast. We've got one tight end. I think I'm going to pull Alex Webb off the board. I love getting tight ends and fullbacks, and sometimes I have an abundance of them on my rosters, and just trying to be a little bit more realistic. We got a tight end. Corey Stevenson is solid. Let's scout him, kind of see what we're getting a little bit more here. Not much. We don't learn what spin, but bringing in Corey Stevenson is going to be good enough. We don't need to bring in 2. Zach Harris, we're going to pump 500 into. Again, he's got the speed, the acceleration. We're going to scout him. Now we've got some more points to scout here. And after being burned on a couple of busts, I think I'm more willing to scout guys and use up 50 points. But he goes 64. We like that. Okay, so Kevin Weiss. Shoot, I thought. So we put 500 into him last week. He's going down 70. I don't know if I want to battle for him. But let's scout him and see if I do. That doesn't help. He's got 89 acceleration. We're looking good on Harris. I think I'm just going to back off Weiss, so I'm not tempted to put 500 points into him. Jeremy Hutchinson, we got up there. We'll get him a scholarship, and we'll scout him one more time. That spec catch, a little stiff arm. Okay, so he'll be a good running back, I think. Cedric Harmon, we jumped up. Let's get him a scholarship and scout him. Oh, yeah, he's a quarterback. Okay. Tim Evans, not sold on him as a JUCO sophomore, but let's scout him. Nothing really that helps. This is where it'd be nice to get 25%, so I just have to scout them 2 times. We get a gist of who they are, and then we can finish scouting them, or not scout them out and just have an idea of what we're getting. Where getting burned definitely makes me want to scout guys a little bit more. But he's looking okay for a sophomore at 66. That's similar to recruiting at 62 overall freshman corner, and that's not out of our range. We're not too good to do that. So he kind of fits with what we're going after. Tyler Gillett going up 30 now. I thought we'd make more ground. Oregon State has a visit. We'll keep him as is, just because free safety is kind of up in the air. Josh Grant probably ready for a visit. Let's get him in this week. Let's scout him. Okay, so 89 speed. I like that. That gave us something useful. Tommy Gandy, we're going to scout, see if we want to keep him on the board. We just get agility. So we'll keep him as is. Well, at least get him a scholarship since he's staying on our board so long. Harvey Allen, we continue to pull up 245. I don't know if we've ever put points into him. We only have a 185 bonus, and we're going up, an extra 60. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. The math doesn't add up for me, but we'll take it. We'll scout him and kind of see where he's at. Just get speed. I was hoping it would be run blocking, but I think with all the guards, I think we signed 3 other guards, 1 freshman guard, possibly tackle. We'll kind of spread these guys out depending on what their overall is. So I'm just not set on signing Harvey Allen. I think I'd be disappointed if I signed Harvey Allen over somebody else right now. So I'm not even give him a scholarship. Phillip Hines looks like a decent middle linebacker. Let's scout him. He goes up to 66. Strength goes up. Okay, I like that. And then Mike Morris will just scout because we got points. Stays at 79. We're going up 150. I'm going to put points into Phillip Hines and we're getting him a scholarship. I think I like, after scouting him, I like what we saw. Grant is coming in. We'll get him to 500. I think Tim Evans, we'll get to 500 and we'll offer him a scholarship. So that's our recruiting points. I think Tyler Gillett, we're going up 30. So Oregon State's got 500 on him as well. I'm actually going to pull some points off Tim Evans and we'll give him to Mike Morris so he can move up a little bit faster as well. Just so we have that option. I'm not decided if I want to keep bringing in junior college wide receivers, but he looks like a solid one, so tough to pass on. We've got 1 visit we didn't get yet. That's Zach Harris. Oh yeah, he's somebody, 92 Excel. Let's get him in this week as well. He gets bonuses with Hodges and Gillett. All right, so that's our recruiting board. I'm going to go scour the nation, see if I can find more guys that fit with what we're doing. All right, really quick, some guys that I found. Added a kicker and a punter. Just was not sold on Mark Smith here at 73 overall. He's got a visit in with us. Stanford's coming after him. And so I just wanted to add 2 other guys that could possibly come in and help our kicking. So we've got Washington, Bullock, I think both from California, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, Bullock's from Wisconsin, Washington from California. Then we got JUCO corner Larry Dennis. Although Michigan just moved up 595, so I'm not sure we're going to be able to make any progress with him. Looks like they added him to their board. JJ Patton looks like a good freshman corner. Eric James. I just went after some corners. I'm not sold that our corner depth is quite where I want it to be. Tim Howe, JUCO, just 1 star. I think he's a sophomore. Same with Brian Fox. I thought, just take a shot on these guys. 2-star middle linebacker. He's just got speed. Again, just trying to look for speed, B acceleration. And then I found a fullback that I thought maybe nobody was going after, but it looks like Minnesota added him to their board, as did Nebraska and Colorado. So I don't know if that's going to shake out, but he was kind of the best overall running back. I think he's 68 overall, but he's a fullback, so I added him. Even though he doesn't meet our criteria of 65. Plus, I love having good fullbacks on my team, even though I don't use them as much as I say I want to or I should. But that's our recruiting board. Let's move on to scouting. All right, UTEP is coached by Dana Dimmel. They're going to go Michigan State pro offense. They're going to run more than they pass. They're going to be slightly more conservative. And their no huddle is conservative, so they'd not be going huddle. I've been surprised by a few teams doing that. I think Penn State and I can't remember the other one, maybe New Mexico State. But UTEP will not be going no huddle. Defensively, they got a 4-2-5. They're going to defend the run a little bit more than the pass, and then they're going to be fairly aggressive. Dana is a level 19 coach. Not many in-game bonuses, which is good to see. Defensively, they're coached by Zach Alley. He's a level 11. So they got kind of the intro ones here, stamina, and then zone coverage. And then offensively, they're Kurt Campbell, level 11. quarterbacks and get good bumps, and their running backs as well. All right, due to time constraints, we're just going to kind of go through their top roster here. We're not going to dive into much of them, but we've got a really good right guard at 91 overall. Jeff Hill, D tackle at 88. Kicker solid. Good center to pair with their right guard, and a good left guard, although he is injured. We'll have to see for how long. I see they got a right tackle here as well. So good offensive line for them. Their quarterback looks like 60 speed, 64 acceleration, so not a runner, a pocket passer. Backup QB looks very similar, almost as good. Defensively, again, we saw Jay Hill. Clay Rogers at corner looks solid, 83 overall. So not the best team that we faced. I think our other rivals had better teams, but these two guys up here look solid, and Jeff Hill could disrupt our running game pretty easily. All right, let's look at their depth chart. All right, you see Matt Smith as the starter. Malone will back him up. Mills, who I thought maybe was their starter, is not, in fact. So Matt Smith, he's injured though, but he's got the speed. It'll be interesting to see if he is out for the game. Otherwise, Malone will play. Running back, 81 overall, good speed, good excel. Fullback at 76. Receivers, top two are solid. Speed is there for all of these guys, so they look okay. Tight end looks solid, 79, 73. 79 is a solid player in this game. I know it's great to get a freshman at 79, but Mike Slater, a true senior at 79, that's a solid player right there. Left tackle, again, 81 as a senior is solid. It's not elite, but it's not terrible. Left guard, 84, although we saw he was injured, so then they dropped to 75 if he's out. Center at 86, right guard at 91 we saw, right tackle at 82. So if their left guard is out, that's their weak spot. So keep that in mind. Defensively, they got redshirt freshman Andy Fellows at 78 overall. That's a good get for them. 76 sophomore D tackle, there's Hill. Jeff Jones solid behind him. O'Brien solid. I don't know if we'll see the third D tackle, but left outside linebacker only at 71. Speed, not great. Acceleration is there though. Middle linebacker at 75, 79. How does this work? 82 speed, 88 speed. They're 4.25. So it'll be middle linebacker and their right outside linebacker. Tyler Hills looks solid, 85 speed, 82 overall. Cornerbacks go 83, 75, 78. How do they do this? I thought they would just auto order them into the best order, but 83, 75, 78, solid enough. I think we could take advantage of that. Free safety at 81, strong safety at 81. Kicker 87, punter 79. Kick returner is freshman Nathan Mack. Looks like a solid playmaker for them. And then their long snapper is Brandon Burton. All right, again, due to time constraints, we'll not do the event wheel, so we'll jump right into game plan. It's going to be a lot of the same. I mean, UTEP, you can see at 5-2, they're playing solid. I don't think it will be an easy game. Of course, I never really go into it thinking that. I always expect a battle. But it is a rivalry game. The sliders are a little bit tougher now, so I'm fully expecting UTEP to give us a really good game. We're going to look to run the ball, again, pass, pick our times to pass, and be a pretty balanced offense. It's important that we take care of the ball. Hopefully we can force some more turnovers. We've got some advantages at some positions on defense. I'm hoping we can force some turnovers. We had some big ones last week that really helped us. We're looking for more of that this week as well. So we are prepped and ready to take on our rival UTEP, but there's nothing left to do in this episode. So until the next one, keep gaming, keep growing, and keep celebrating those obscure victories. Game on.